Hey YouTube, it's me, John Avenger, once again, and welcome to another Movies with Numbers in the title. And this is another stinker. I'm not going to rant too much on this movie because I know it's very flawed. It's definitely not the worst of the franchise, but it's definitely a step down from the second one, and that is Spy Kids 3D Game Over. Yep, pretty much this franchise was game over after this one. I don't know what it was, but this movie felt rushed into production. Robert Rodriguez didn't put any effort into the script. The film was just missing a lot of elements in it, like the parents are underused. Bill Paxton has a cameo in it. Rest in peace, sir. And it's this film has just way too many problems. Positives, I'll get to that first. Daryl Sabara as you know the lead kid, he's fine. You know, it's his movie, pretty much. It's his story. I don't hate his character. He has a nice adventures with these three other kids. You have these two boys and then this girl that he likes. And it's like, oh, this is my friend. It's like, I'm his girlfriend. And yeah, she's kind of a tough chick. She's cute. And I will say that I like Ricardo Montalban as the grandfather. There's a twist where him and Stallone talk to each other, and they're actually related. So I'm like, yeah, and it's all right. And the film is short. That's pretty much all I can say. And I guess there's some character moments from the first two. I didn't see the first one, but I have seen the second one, and I thought that one was way better than this. Now, the film has a ton of problems. One, there is way too much CGI in this movie. It looks freaking terrible. It's very dated, bad CG that looks very. I know it's a video game. I'll give another point to the premise. The premise was interesting. Them going inside of the digital world of video games and trying to stop this guy, Sylvester Stallone from like unleashing his doom on the world with this world of video games. It was an interesting premise, like Pixels, but they executed it all wrong. Like I said, the CGI just looks fucking horrible. Even from 2003, it just looks really bad. Like, I'm like, this was in theaters. This is bad. This is worse than the Sci-Fi Channel CGI. I mean, it really was just bad. I'm cartoonish, in your face, a lot of stupid colors. It felt like an acid trip. And I know they weren't taking it seriously. It's the third Spy Kids, but good God, the visuals did nothing for me. Second, Sylvester Stallone's performance. He is over the top here. He's yelling half of his dialogue. He's not threatening as the villain. He plays like three other characters, like a hippie and some knight or whatever. I don't even remember. It was just so bad. It's just his performance is so laughable. I'm glad that after this he took his career more seriously and did Rocky Balboa and Rambo and freaking the first Expendables. Those are way better than this. Even in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, I'm not gonna let that go. He was much better there for his two scenes because he was taken seriously. Here he's a joke. He's not threatening in the slightest. I like the villain better in the second movie. This was just laziness. It was really bad. Like I said, the parents are underused. And, also a freaking Alexa Vega, while I'm not a big fan of the actress, her missing most of the film really hurt the film. Like, it's basically Daryl Sabara looking for her throughout half of the freaking movie, and then she just magically appears. There's no explanation whatsoever. Also, the chosen one in this movie is freaking Frodo Baggins himself, Elijah Wood, and he gets killed off in like 1 minute. Are you fucking kidding me? Elijah Wood is in this movie for like 5 seconds. It's worse than The Force Awakens because it's a waste of a really good actor for a really small part in a bad movie, and he just dies like that. I'm like, what a waste. I saw this movie with my mom, and I was scratching my head. I'm like, that was not good, Ma. This was awful. I don't know why this was even in theaters. Granted, I think this one should have ended the franchise and not the fourth one, because at least the pain would have ended. No, but they do a fourth one that's even worse, with a shittier cast and an even worse script and a story that makes no sense. Here, it had potential. The premise was cool. And like I said, Daryl Sabara's good. Ricardo Montalban is the grandfather. He's fine. The performances are not the worst, except for Stallone. Stallone is hamming it up, and he's being awful in the movie. The film's short, so it's not too long. It's like an hour and 30 minutes, so it's not a chore to get through with the running time. But like Salma Hayek, I don't care about her character. She does nothing. She's there to give exposition to Daryl Sabara. Like, if you die in the game, you die for real. Interesting premise, but it just was executed all wrong. The second one had, the island and the really good stop motion and, him and the sister actually have moments together. Here, it's just like, oh yeah, the sister's missing for 30 minutes, and I know Alexa Vega was doing other films. She did Sleepover, and like I said, not the biggest fan of the actress, but her and Daryl Sabara is what made the second one work, and I believe the first one as well, with the clips I've seen. But here, her missing out definitely hurts the plot. I like the other kids in the film, like I said, the two boys and the girl that likes Daryl Sabara's character. They're fine. They're not a problem to the movie. But the race that they did is just stupid. I prefer the pod race in the Phantom Menace because at least that wasn't laughable CGI. I mean, it looks way better than this. And that was 1999. This was 2003, and it looks like shit. I'm sorry, just bad visual effects. Like, this is not ILM, you know, motion capture or really good special effects like Guardians 1, Guardians 2, Avengers, freaking, uh, you know, the first Iron Man. Those were good effects. Even the Star Wars prequels and the original Star Wars, those are really good effects and not laughable. Like, this is just laughably bad. This coming from a year that had X-Men 2 and Terminator 3 and even CGI animated movies like Finding Nemo. Way better films than this. Those at least were fun and didn't have horrible visuals that took me out of it. Here, it just takes me out of it. I'm like, this is just horrible CGI. Like, what were you thinking, Robert Rodriguez? This is, and it didn't stop because it came back again in Spy Kids 4 with the bad CG and in Shark Boy and Lava Girl, which also looks terrible. Like, I know he wants to make a magical world for kids, but you got to try harder with the effects, Robert, because this looks awful. Even back in 2003, it just doesn't look good. The story was just nonsensical. There's just a lot of stuff happening, but with not, with very little consequences. They have like a robot fight. It's like rock and sock and robots, and it could have been interesting, but I'm like, it's wasting time. It's just padding. Wasting Elijah Wood. I will not forgive the movie for that. He's a great actor. I know he was doing Lord of the Rings, but still, what a waste of an actor. You want to bring back people, bring them back and let them have a purpose. Let them have a badass moment, not just use them as cannon fodder. It's just stupid. Anyway, Spy Kids 3D, yeah, gets a thumbs down from me. Is it the worst sequel I've ever seen? No, it's just some mediocre third installment, and we've had that a lot in the last 10, 15 years, so I wasn't expecting much. Didn't get much in return, just like a downgrade from the second movie. And it's disappointing because I wanted to like the third movie. I don't think it's the worst. It's not an X-Men 3, The Last Stand. It's not a freaking it's not Expendables 3. It's not Transformers 4. It's not Speed 2, but it's still a bad sequel. And as a follow-up to the second one, what a letdown. It's just like Ninja Turtles 3. Just complete, falls on its face. And, bad visuals don't make up for, if you had bad visuals and a good story, I would have said, okay, it's decent. But no, it's awful. Like, if your kids can do a lot better, let them see Finding Nemo or X-Men 2 with parental discretion, or anything could have been a better watch than this. Even movies that came out after this were way better. The first Diary Wimpy Kid is way better. The Diary Wimpy Kid 2, even 3 is way better than this. It doesn't have horrible CGI that takes me out of the movie. It has some CG, but not like this. This is really bad and just, takes me out of the movie. And the cast doesn't save it. It just looks unrealistic and bad. And I know it's in a video game, so I know my friend Sean's like, oh, but that's the whole point. But no, Sharknado doesn't have the best CG, but it knows what it is. And it's fun. This was not fun. This was just painfully boring at times. I'm too old for this movie. The second movie hit more the right chord. This didn't. This just failed me, and I don't want to talk about it anymore. But anyway, that's Spy Kids 3D. Game over. Yeah, game over for the franchise after this because it never recovered. It should have ended with this. The family puts their hands in. It's over. That's it. You didn't need a fourth movie. You don't need a fifth movie. You don't need a reboot. The cast is already too old to play kids. If it was Spy adults, it would make more sense. But it's over, Robert. Just don't do any more. And this is the last of the sequels I need to review. The first one I'll review eventually, but this was a painful endeavor. It's just nonsensical, bad CGI, bad story, bad villain. That just, as laughable as some villains were last year, at least some of them tried. Here, Stallone is just hamming it up like he's trying to be Khan from Star Trek 2, and it doesn't work. But anyway, that's Spy Kids 3D. Game over. And it's not for me. So Just being honest, and I don't like the movie. But anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Liking, subscribing, commenting on my videos. I've been reading them all, so thanks for watching my videos. It's been a rough week, but the weather's been up and down. But hey, summer's almost here, and I got a lot of stuff to review in the summer. So bring on the rest of spring and the summer, and I can't wait to review more stuff. So I will see you in the next one, guys. Later.